Hey guys, it is Jimmy with Swiss Realty here. I help investors buy their next buy and hold, BRRRR, flip, or short-term, midterm rental here in Columbus, Ohio. And in today's video, we're going to go over a recent investment deal that my client has closed. And just to give you a really quick rundown, it is a buy and hold property. It was closed roughly a year and a half ago. And in today's video, we're going to go over kind of the numbers, the whole breakdown of the deal, the ARVs, the market rents, what it will cash flow for, how much equity is in the deal. And we're going to give you kind of some insight on what you can expect here in Columbus, Ohio. So we're going to do a whole breakdown, a full 360 breakdown. And again, let me know if you have any questions. If you do have any questions in the meantime, make sure to drop them in the comment section of this video. So in today's video, we're going to go over this deal right here. It is 1966 Brockton Road, Columbus, Ohio 43219. It's a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom house. It's 1324 square feet, 1,324 square feet. Again, single family house. Again, very typical, especially when it comes to single family house. And on top of that, it was closed, as you can see, in 2023. So we closed it. So me and my client, we closed it late 2023. So it's been, again, pretty much a year and a half. So essentially, let's go over this deal. So first thing I look for, especially when it comes to going over a deal, is I just really do a really quick glimpse at all the listing photos, kind of just to get an estimate on how much renovation we're going to be needing for a house, for this property. So what I see so far, again, we're just going to do a really quick glance at the listing photos. I see we need all new flooring. I see we need we'll need some cosmetic renovation, some updating definitely. So what I see so far is probably take out the carpet right there. As you can see, there's carpet right there. Take out the carpet, repaint the entire house. It looks like you got some cosmetic stuff, a little bit here and there. But you have to remember, at the end of the day, this is going to be a rental property. More likely than not, the buyer client, whoever buys it, they're just trying to buy and hold it, especially with a property like this, just a rental property, not a flip, essentially. So that's what we're going to be kind of shooting for. Here, again, flooring, you can kind of just see some wear and tear there. It's pretty outdated as well, too. So again, flooring all just needs to go. Kitchen, it's a little dated, but it still looks to be in good shape. I would say probably kitchen needs a little bit of updating, probably repainting the cabinets, but cabinets do look to be in pretty solid shape from what I can see so far. Aside from that, bathroom, from what I can see, again, bathroom probably will need some updating. You can kind of see some of the light fixtures a little dated, so probably, again, a little bit of updating as well, too. And on top of that, that looks to be the half bathroom as well right there. If I remember correctly, again, light fixtures, mirror, all that. So again, house looks to be in near turnkey shape. Yes, will it need some work? Definitely. But from what I see so far, light cosmetic. So if I had to, again, put a ballpark number at it, I would probably say we're looking at $15,000, $10,000 to $15,000 in renovations. Then aside from that, let's look at the market rents for this house. So we're looking at 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms approximately. And what we're seeing so far is houses like this, again, similar square footage, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath houses, 1,132 square feet. This one rents for $1,750 a month. And then aside from that, we got $1,800 a month for 1,025 square feet. So again, 1,750, 1,800. That kind of seems like that's the average again for the rent. So when we see this, we're like, whoa, this hits the 1% rule, because again, we bought it, essentially we closed this deal at $147,000, 147. On top of that, maybe we put in 10 if we want to be a little extra conservative, maybe $15,000 in cosmetics. But all in, we're pretty much at 160, 165. But this could rent for anywhere from $1,750 to $1,800 a month. That's, again, hitting the 1% rule, even including renovations as well, too. So this seems to be an amazing deal so far. So again, this hits the 1% rule. And from that, I'm like, whoa, this one definitely has a lot of potential. And on top of that, another thing that I also make sure to do is I always, again, pull up properties on Google Street View. And when I always look up these properties, I always make sure to look at kind of the date of the street view. what I see right here is that it says right there, if you look right there, that I highlighted right here, June 2024. So we know that it is definitely more updated in this case. And this is more reliable in terms of how the location looks. Sometimes we will see like 2019 or 2020. If it's been like 5 years, you can't really rely on Google Street View. And obviously, by all means, look at crime maps, look at other online resources, like do your due diligence. But I definitely recommend using Google Street View, and always just make sure to take it with a grain of salt, and definitely make sure to look at the date that the photos were captured in this case. But again, from what I see so far, the curb appeal does look to be really good. I see right here, again, looks to be a very residential neighborhood, looks to be homeowners, living here. People are taking care of their lawns. As you can see, the grass is cut. The houses look to be in good shape. The cars look to be pretty good. Like, again, these are signs that, hey, this is, a neighborhood where it's a lot of homeowners and it's a solid area to buy a rental property. Those are kind of the signs I look for. And again, curb appeal as well too, obviously. So, and then next up, aside from that, it's also looking at ARV comps as well too. So looking at the ARV comps, so when I pulled these comps as well too, here's what I saw. So I saw comps where we see 223. There's this comp right here. So same exact road, okay? 4 bedroom, 2 bath, single 4 bedroom, 2 bath, single family house. Yes, it is bigger because this one, as you can see, this one has a finished basement that has adds another 400 square feet. With ours, we don't have that extra 400 square feet. Ours is just 1,300. So because of that, the value will be a little bit higher for this one due to, again, having a finished basement. However, we see that there's, again, significant equity to be had with this one because, again, this one was 223. Ours, we're buying it for around 147. So again, even with renovations, maybe $15,000 in renovations, there's still significant equity in this case. So, and the next one we look at is 4 bedroom, 1.5 bathrooms. Our property is, again, a 4 bedroom, 1.5 bathroom. So this one is a little closer. The other one, this one as well too, it has 2 full baths. So because of that, it is, again, a little different. With this one, again, it's 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. This one is, again, closer in square feet. Again, this one much closer. So because of that, I do feel like it is a much better ARV comp in this case. Again, this one's 1492 square feet. Ours is 1,324 square feet. Similar, again, not exactly, because again, this one's around 100 square feet more, but again, it is very close. So this one is a really good comp. On top of that, if you skim through the photos, you will see everything is completely renovated. Again, this is what you want to see for an ARV comp. Yep, this looks solid. Yeah, perfect. Yep. From what I see so far, this is exactly what we want to see in an ARV comp. So yeah, again, looks perfect. Yeah, so with that being said, so again, what I would say is, and let's look at one more comp really quickly. So this one, 1324. So again, very similar. And on top of that, it's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath, single family house. So going through it really quickly. Nicely renovated as well too. Okay, this one's nicely renovated. Okay. Bathroom doesn't look the best, as again, it's definitely renovated, but it has some weirder designs, I would say. So what I would say is the ARV comps reliably are anywhere from 200 to 217 in this case. So again, there is, again, still significant equity to be had here. Again, even if we add 147, we add another $15,000, our all-in purchase plus renovation, we're probably in 165. And again, there's still roughly $30,000 to $40,000 in equity from after you renovate the project. So again, 100%, this is a perfect possible BRRRR as well too. So it's not just a buy and hold. So with that being said, now that we've looked at, the ARV comps, how much equity there is, what the market rents go for, the potential of the cash flow, which obviously hits the 1% rule, we know that this is definitely a solid rental property. So next step is we're going to crunch some numbers right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it into our Dale analysis calculator. So what we see, again, 4 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, 1,324 square feet. So what we're going to do is put that in our purchase price, Down payment, we're going to put 20% because, again, I would say most investors are going to buy this as an investment property. Typically, to buy a investment property, you will have to put a minimum of 20% down. Closing costs, you're typically looking at 1.5% for closing costs. So what closing costs are pretty much just things like title fees, closing fees, any minor any fees that are associated with closing the property. I would say rule of thumb is typically anywhere from 1 to 1.5% of the purchase price. So again, just to be a little conservative, I put 1.5% for the closing fees in this case. So next up after that, we have our down payment amount, which is going to be 20% of the purchase price. After that, we also have our closing fees, which is again 1.5% down, 1.5% of the purchase price. And for the repairs estimate, I put $15,000 just to be a little conservative. So when it comes to our loan amount, it's obviously 80% LTV. I put 6.71% for the annual interest rate because, again, that's what we're seeing in today's market as of today. And on top of that as well too, I use a 30-year fixed loan, which I always recommend because you want the lowest amortization schedule possible. So again, you get the best possible cash flow. So with this analysis, we're going to use $1,750 a month because, again, that's what we saw from the Renometer report. And again, with Renometer, it's real-time Zillow rent data. So again, that's as accurate as it gets, okay? So again, $1,750 a month. Annually, we're grossing $21,000 in cash flow, essentially, or with rent, essentially. So our mortgage payment, with that being said, $763. Our property taxes, which I pulled from the auditor's website, we're looking at $2,194. And obviously I divided by 12 to obviously get the monthly property taxes, $182. And for insurance, I put $75 a month. Again, typically for a house this size, especially at $147,000, insurance here is very, very cheap. So monthly insurance costs, again, $75 a month, typically what you're going to be looking at. And then repairs and maintenance. So this is another thing I always want to hit on, especially with a lot of my investor clients. If you are buying an investment property and you're budgeting for your reserves, I always recommend 855. 8% for the property management, 5% for repairs and maintenance, and then 5% for the vacancy. The reason why, I've seen some investor clients, they put 10, 10, 10. 10% for property management, 10% for vacancy, 10% for CapEx, and 10% for maintenance. And I think it's crazy. The reason why is because even if you do 10, 10, 10 for everything, you will never find a deal that works. Even if it hits the 1% rule, even the 1.5% rule, it still would be negative cash flowing. And my rule of thumb is always be conservative, but not overly conservative. Because again, if you're overly conservative, there will never be a deal that works. And you have to adjust with the market. And in my opinion, 855 gives you enough reserves, but also it's conservative enough where, again, you are estimating for some needed repairs, and on top of that, some vacancy as well too. So 855, that's kind of the way I go about it. Again, 8% for the property management, 5% for 5% for repairs and maintenance, and then also 5% for the vacancy rate as well too. So let me just adjust this really quickly. So times 8%. Right. Yeah, so 855. Yep. So you have 8% for the property management right here, 5% for the repairs and maintenance, and then 5% for the vacancy. So with that being said, now that we have crunched the numbers, we see that the NOI is $14,220. Cap rate is 9%, which is insane. And NOI, to hit on that really quickly, and NOI basically means what after your taxes, insurance, and reserves, and pretty much everything aside from your debt service, how much you will be making in terms of income. Then obviously, then you'll have to factor in your debt service afterwards to get your cash flow, your net cash flow. But with your net operating income, again, for a cap rate of 9%, that's really, really good. And again, debt service 1.55 to qualify for a DSCR loan, you have to hit 1.25 typically. So what we see so far is, again, gross income, we're looking at 1662 a month. 16, give me 1 second. Okay, going back to this. So yes, so net operating income, and after that subtracted by the debt service, and then we get cash flow, monthly net cash flow of $421.24. And annually, that means you're going to be making $5,000 a year from this property roughly. And yeah, that is really, really good of an investment property because, again, you're going to get roughly $400 of monthly net cash flow. You're going to be making $5,000 annually a year net cash flow. And on top of that, you're going to have roughly $30,000 to $40,000 in equity, built-in equity. So again, this is a perfect BRRRR or buy and hold rental properties. Because again, this one, you do have a lot of equity where you can do a refinance, cash out refinance, get a good chunk of your money back, or you could just hold it as a buy and hold property, net cash flow $400 a month, and just ride that out as long as possible. Again, this one will need, again, some light cosmetics here and there, but overall, this was an amazing buy by my client. Super, super happy for them. Aside from that, that is pretty much the video. Just want to give you guys a really quick breakdown on a typical deal here in Columbus, Ohio, a recent deal that I've closed with one of my clients. If you have any questions, make sure to drop it below in this video. Definitely reach out to me. I would love to help with the investing process if that's what you're looking for here in Columbus. Again, just to recap off, my name is Jimmy with Swiss Realty. I help investors buy their next buy and hold, BRRRR, flip, or short-term, midterm rental here in Columbus, Ohio. So again, if any questions, hit me up. Happy to help. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.